excellence in sports entertainment.
Right. I got two left hooves. Who on test? Well, since nobody's stepping to me, take me to your cult leader. Take me to your local drug dealer. Take me to the man in the mirror when you stand and deliver with your hand on the trigger, an emotional terrorist. I-double-M-U-N-E. Never make my enemy public. I'm a private dancer, dancing for money. Let's rock. Do that thing that's funny. I'll make you wanna laugh. I'll make you wanna move. I'll make you wanna do.
Move. Do. Welcome to SpotMonkey Radio. As always, I am your host, Tony, being joined by my wonderful co-host, Malik, and the producer of producers, the one and only, the lovely Dominique, or Fox. Hello, baby. We are one short. Greco's not here today. Not sure why, but it's fine. He's not here. He's busy.
By virtue of a technicality, I feel that the producer should also be on camera. She watches the shows kind of like you do, and she has opinions like we do. That's just my opinion.
Well, she's more than welcome. Her camera's right here.
What happened?
He thinks that you should join the show since you watch all the shows and have an opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, not yet. I'll put it on.
She just got out of the shower, so her head.
What's she? I just got out of the shower too. That's why I'm just sitting here, shirt, towel on. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
I will not stand up at any point in time. So,
So a lot of stuff happened this past weekend. I didn't watch. First off, I didn't even know that there was two pay-per-views on at the same time. Apparently.
so yeah, I was just like the NXT Battleground and AEW Double or Nothing. For them to do both shows, knowing, well, I'm surprised WWE said, you know what, screw it, we'll do another show. But, you know, they have these things where they're doing like 3 or 4 nights now, which is apparently the thing. And I feel like it's becoming a lot of shows where it's like, it's whether or not you want to see them. It could be hit or miss.
That's very true. Very true. Did you watch Saturday night's main event? I mean, listen, we can bounce around, but like, because there was so much going on. So we'll start with Saturday night's main event. How'd you feel?
So, Saturday night's main event, I felt was going to be better than Backlash.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I felt like they were trying their best to give you a premium live event, which I guess Saturday night's main event could be considered that. But but once upon a time, you only got probably about 4 of them in the year.
Yeah, that wasn't that many. I don't understand why there's so many now.
We got one in December, then we got one in January. Now we're getting another one. We just got one over this past weekend. Now we're getting another one in July, and that's pretty fast.
Yeah, so that's
when you look at it.
Yeah. Do you think that WWE is kind of giving us too much content as of late?
Yeah. I mean, Tony, you watch wrestling, but not to the extent of where you were as a teenager, right?
I'm 100%. Yeah.
Today, you're kind of just like, it's there. I'll watch it when I want to watch it.
Very nitpicky. Yeah. Just pick and choose. Yeah.
Me, there was a time where, most recently during the pandemic, where I was pretty much watching everything because there wasn't much of anything going on.
Yeah.
But as all of that has settled and there's back to somewhat of normalcy, there's just too much. I can't even account how many hours there are in a week of wrestling. It's a lot.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's got to be at least near 20 hours of wrestling a week.
I would assume so, because it's first on, it's on every single day, and sometimes it's on twice. Like we just said, 2 pay-per-views at the same time on the same fucking day. Like, that's fucking crazy, man.
WWE and AEW, in a sense, were competing over the weekend because they most likely had Collision on. If they didn't have it on Saturday, maybe they turned around and said, "We'll do it on Thursday."
We're not even getting to the Indies. Yeah, man. Listen, I didn't watch any of it, so it's very hard for me to make it like a objective opinion because I didn't watch Saturday night's main event. The only thing I saw was Cody returned, but that was really it. That was the only thing that I saw from Saturday night's main event. I didn't see anything. I'm lying to you right now. I just saw it not 10 minutes ago. that Trick Williams won the TNA title. Like I said, these things all happened, and I had no fucking idea what was going
To
on.
be very honest with you, that was a shocker.
Yeah.
The week in general was a very long week for me. A lot of work, and then leaving work to go work Ace that day,
Okay.
ref, and then getting filled with a DDT. Uh, there was a lot going on, so I came home and I watched it the next day, and I was like, all right. Most people complaints were while watching it on as it was live was that there were too many commercials, and I said, well, it's on network television. What do you expect? You know,
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
it is what it is. You know, it's easier for people to turn around and jump up and go, well, most people have a streaming app. Some people just don't have regular cable TV in their homes. So it's easier to just watch the shows like that, which is why I think it's a smart way for WWE to capitalize on that. They could turn around and hopefully have these other shows in the future, like SmackDown and NXT on streaming apps, as opposed to needing to wait a whole month to watch that particular episode like they would do when it was on WWE Network.
Yeah, that was annoying. The only other thing I saw for Saturday Night's Main Event, I read it, I didn't see it, was the addition of the Tsunami, Bronson Reed joining Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker's group. I think that's a good move.
Yes, it's very interesting that he is become a bit of a moving part. You know, if he didn't get hurt, who's to say that he still wouldn't be with Solo's version of the Bloodline while not calling them the Bloodline?
That's very true.
So it's just interesting that he switched over.
Yeah.
And obviously he was a Raw guy anyway, so I guess it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
You know what's funny is he got hurt. He was in one faction, and they were just like, well, that faction's gone, so we got to stick him in another one.
Yeah.
Just put him with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, which I don't think it's a bad idea because, I mean, he doesn't seem to cut bad promos, but I just think with Paul Heyman at the helm, it'll be much more coherent, I believe, at least for him and because Braun Breaker too. I haven't seen him cut a promo, and the ones that I've seen when I hear him talk, it's not great. So I think with Paul Heyman with him, I think that'll help them get better and
definitely
that, you know. I don't really care about AEW. Did you say you even watched the AEW?
I saw the highlights. I know some of the results. I know that, you know, with all of this stuff with them building up Will Ospreay and making us believe that, you know, maybe he'll turn around and be the one to take the title from Jon Moxley. No, instead they're doing All In with Hangman Page and Jon Moxley as the headliner. And I'm just like, of all things that you guys are going to do, you just like, I'm not mad at it, but it definitely just was like, whoa, this was not what I was expecting. It is what it is. It looked like they had a good match. I was actually surprised it was the main event because they had Anarchy in the arena, which, you know, I think is not the best of matches to do.
No.
Because it's so much going on and it's all over the place. I guess that's better for the live audience than it would be for us at home, maybe.
I don't understand Anarchy in the arena. You know what it is? I guess it's supposed to be their version of like War Games. It's supposed to be their gimmick. You know how every company, I've noticed this, every company comes up with their own original match. Like WCW had the Triple Cage, right? WWE has Hell in the Cell. TNA had the Ultimate X or Full Metal Mayhem, right? Some shit like that. And now this arena match, which is WCW also had War Games, obviously.
Here's the funny thing: their version of War Games is Blood and Guts.
So they have a War Games.
Yes, this Anarchy in the Arena basically is. Remember when they did the Stadium Stampede where they were all fighting the 10-on-10 on the football field?
Yeah.
That's basically what that is, but just taken into the arena.
So nobody's there. It's an empty arena.
No. This time is with the fans in the arena now. So
okay.
And one of the things that they were doing was like they were playing. I think 2 years ago they were playing the final countdown for like, I don't know, 7 minutes straight.
Wow.
It was just something ridiculous.
Wouldn't you have to pay Europe a lot of money for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Because you're playing their song on loop.
Oh yeah. So the big news that came out is Mercedes Moné obviously still hasn't been defeated. She is now the women's Owen Hart Cup Memorial winner, while Hangman Adam Page is the men's Memorial winner.
Okay.
And both of them get their world title shots at All In July. Everybody's going crazy because they got All In July, but on that same night is Saturday night's main event.
That's funny.
Which now I just realized I will never watch Saturday night's main event live, seeing as how there's so many commercials. I could just watch it. You can literally watch that show after it's done.
No commercials.
And no commercials will be there. Everything's already edited.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even watch it live then. They're basically encouraging you not to watch it live by doing that. They're basically saying if you don't really want to deal with the commercials, just wait the 3 hours when it's done, and you can just streamline right through it. It to me, it's like even Raw. Like there are times where like I would rather just wait because like when me and my wife go to the gym at 10 p.m. So like I do is I pause Raw here, and then I go to the gym with her. And when I start going on the treadmill and everything, and I click back on Raw, it'll pick up where I left off, but it cuts all the commercials out.
Yeah. Well,
so if there's a commercial break, it just jumps right back to like, so there's no, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I might as well just wait until 9 p.m. to turn on Raw, and then I can just streamline the process because it'll just skip all the commercial breaks and get me to where I need to be. That's why because I'm like, I will say this, the people who complain about the ads on Raw aren't wrong. There are a lot of ads on Raw. They're just not that long. They're not as long as everybody makes them out to be. But there's a lot of ads on Raw. So like I said, I feel like they're enticing you to not watch it live anymore.
I feel like the amount of ads that they turn around and they bring you is the same amount of time that they would if it was a regular commercial break when they were on USA.
Yeah.
Also, this is the reason why I do not watch, because they have a replay of AEW on Max. The problem is it's never right where you need it to be. You have to go about typing it in the search.
Okay.
To find it.
It's not like a section where you could just
no.
Oh
no.
wow. Okay.
So like when I type it in, it'll give me obviously the AEW by seasons or the AEW pay-per-views, their reality shows that they either did for Brandy and Cody or the one that they had just for all the wrestlers. And then underneath all of that will have the actual AEW shows, but it will have all the commercials. And I'm like, man, if I wanted to fast forward, I would just go to my DVR and watch this.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. You can't fast forward to it?
You can fast forward through it, but it's still all the commercials are there.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
So it won't be normal without the commercials edited until the following week when the new episode airs.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a slower process over there at HBO Max apparently, or AEW.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So before anybody thinks I'm going by some tribalism, some bullshit like that, that is definitely not the case. I just feel like they would pick up the pace so that way it would keep me interested in watching. Have I watched a full AEW show? I honestly could say probably it's been a month since I've seriously watched an episode.
But bro, since we started this, okay, me and my wife sat down. We were like, all right, we're going to start watching AEW. Since that watch along with you and Greco, we have not watched a single episode since. I just want you to. I want to be very clear about that. That's why I don't really talk about AEW, because I can't make an objective opinion on it because
no, we tried for like 10 minutes the other time.
Oh, okay, you're right.
It was like 9:30, the women's match, and we're like, And
we just turned it right off.
Well, that's the usual. That's like the residency they throw for women's matches between 9 and 9:30.
9:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
and that has been like that since the inception of AEW.
Yes.
Since AEW Dynamite has been on TV. 9 to 9:30 is their women's segment. It's just the way it is. It's fucking crazy. Now, I saw in the chat just a second ago, I think Virgo Cool brought it up, or Rough Shot. Did you see Zoe Stark's injury on Monday? That was
I have a article up right now.
Okay, yeah, you can put it up if you want, baby.
Hold on, I'm trying to find
that was ugly. That injury was ugly. And as someone who has suffered a knee injury,
I have too.
You have to, but Malik was in the ring. He had an unfortunate accident with a drop kick to his knee that bent his knee the wrong way.
Let me tell you something. I still have the picture of it. Number one. Number two, I have never ever. It's gonna be shit. That happened in 2015 of December, or it's my 10-year anniversary for that. I have never seen the footage, and I don't want to see the footage because then it'll just I don't know, not PTSD, but in that moment, thinking about it and then how the person approached me afterwards, I wasn't too like I won't be too kind about it. I would probably turn into my Ike Turner / Joe Jackson phase where I would just want to beat ass at that point.
But did you saw what happened? Is
Do we want to see it? Because I'll put it up.
You could. It was a springboard, right? It was a springboard supposed to be like a drop kick or some shit.
Oh my god! Yeah, she went for the springboard drop kick, and she was calling for Kyrie from what was said, and I didn't hear that in the audio. Because when I saw the clip, I was at work, and I just saw it, and I screamed. I was like, I can't do that again because they zoomed in on it, and you just see her leg, and I was like, yeah, she's done for the rest of the year.
Man, dude, that was a scary moment right there. You don't listen. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially kind of like that. And she had just gotten back from a knee injury. They said, didn't they?
Yeah, she. You know what the worst part about it is? It's not just the knee injury. Everybody was like, "Well, Kyrie got back. Shouldn't she have gotten pinned?" I was like, "Damn, she hurt her knee. Like, what? Yeah. What do we do?" Kyrie Sane was just too far away, and this chick went like way further.
Did they have? I assume they had high hopes for this. Zoe Stark. Here it comes, babe. Close your eyes. It's about to happen right now.
Well, she didn't get released.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't a part of the releases. Do you think this becomes like a thing now where she might get released on the next?
Well, this is the thing. This is like maybe her second or third knee injury.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Like what?
Oh my god! What happened?
You can look now. It's done.
Did you see like?
You saw it bend. You just see it bent the wrong way.
That shit is so ugly.
Oh my god!
And it sucks when anybody turns around and gets hurt. Period. Like it's just the absolute worst.
I have to tip my cap to my beautiful wife, who said, because I was over here, fucking around on the computer, and she noticed it. She goes, "I think somebody's hurt," and I go, "Why?"
Because they went up to the.
She was there filming. Yeah, she was there filming the briefcases.
Yeah.
I was just like, "What?" And I turned around and look, and they're just shooting the briefcases as they talk. Yeah, and I'm like, I was like, "Yeah, somebody's obviously they got to be hiding something." They're not showing something for some reason.
It's like mid-match, we don't need to see.
Yeah, and then they cut to commercial break, and then when they came back from commercial break, they were like, Zoe Stark suffered a serious injury, so it's now just Rhea Ripley versus Kyrie Sane. And I was like, God damn! I was like, yeah, you're right. You called it. You saw it. Noticed it. So
5 surgeries later.
I've had my knee bend the wrong way a couple of times. 5 surgeries later, I don't fall down from just standing up anymore. Jesus Christ, bud. Yeah.
You guys watch it too closely. Look at this.
You see her leg give out before the injury. I think she tried. Yeah. Well, listen. I'll say this. It's in every wrestler's DNA. When you get hurt, the first knee-jerk response is to see if you can continue. There is never no, I can't do this.
As a dumbass who tried to get back into, well, the thing is, I was like, I can't get counted out like this. The match happened. So I rolled in, and I'm like, tag. And then I was just sitting on the apron trying to get up, and I was just like, yeah, no.
Yeah. I've never suffered a catastrophic like injuries like that with dislocations or breaks, but I've suffered severe concussions, and you don't realize like your first knee-jerk response is, I'm fine, let's keep going. Mm-hmm. I don't want to fuck this up. Like you just said, I'm not getting counted out. It can't end this way. So it's like that kind of stuff. Your mind immediately goes to, oh no, it can't, we have to get to the finish. Like we have to get to that. And then you don't realize what you're doing worse to your body.
And what sucks about knees is that I've sprained both twice, 3 times. They're never the same after that.
No.
I still can't straighten one fully.
No.
And that was just a slight dislocation, not like whatever that was.
Like I fucked my knee up when I was a teenager doing backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's still fucked up. Like I just had some ligament damage and shit like that. It wasn't like I said, to the level that you had, Malik, where you got kicked in the leg real bad, or Zoe Stark, where that shit looked like it almost snapped in half. But it was bad to a point where I needed surgery. And since then, I always have the aches, you always have the pains. It never fully recovers. Like even like the surgeon told me about my neck. He said, I can because I have more herniated discs now in my neck. And he's like, yeah, we can fix it, but it's never going to be fully.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same. So like, do you want us to cut you open?
At that point, it's like, is it worth the risk of turning around?
Exactly. No, exactly. And so we start to ask yourself, how many times, like you just said, this is a second or third knee injury.
That's crazy.
How many times before you go?
Yeah, they get like weaker each time you
Yeah, yeah.
or more prone, I mean. And look, this reminds me of the little thing you had to say
Oh,
yesterday.
Malik, I have to tell you a story. I have to tell you a story before we get into it. So I go to a family reunion on Saturday, right?
Oh boy.
At this park, and me and Dominique went for a little walk, and we're walking back to the place. And as we're walking back, two of my Italian cousins from Italy.
They were speaking
Italian, right? They come walking up to me, and they start talking to me. And I remember one of them came to my house during a birthday party or some shit, and I had my ring in the backyard when I was training with DeVito at the time. So he comes over and he goes, "You still got that ring?" I said, "Nah, man, we got rid of that a long time ago." He's up, and he goes, "I don't know how you could do that. That's so fake." And the way he said it, I looked at him, and it took everything I had not to smack him in the mouth, but I turned around and I said, I turned around and looked at him. I go, "Well, buddy," I said, "I have 5 herniated discs in my neck that say otherwise." I said, "The punching and kicking may be fake, but I took a fucking beating. I know guys who are paralyzed.
Oh,
So I don't think it's that fake."
People truly don't understand.
Yeah. So I was just
what
like,
goes into this, because I don't even want to jump down that rabbit hole because just be like, eh.
Yeah.
But I can see why you would be bothered, the both of
Oh.
you. Even if you've never wrestled, Dominique, even if you haven't wrestled, still. Like,
but she's now been around it enough to know, like, she's seen serious injuries. She's seen like listen, we made a joke yesterday, and I'm gonna say because I don't give a fuck, but like we were driving down to BCW yesterday, Malik, and I said to her, I was like, "You have seen catastrophic injuries.
I've only
and
been
it's only
this...
at BCW.
No.
You don't see him anywhere.
No, and also
else.
I've only been filming wrestling with you 2-3 years now, and I've seen literally neck injury, like limb, and a death.
You've seen it all.
Literally seen it all.
Yeah.
So I and it's the same way people don't say movies are fake.
Yeah.
But they have to tell you that wrestling's fake, which makes no sense to me.
Very annoying. I do have to point out that we have a new viewer, Taylor James. TNA is Taylor Jones. I'm sorry. TNA is an embarrassment. How could they make their world champion lose to a developmental show like NXT? Wow.
That's a good point.
Okay, we will cut into that later. I just want to close up on Saturday Night's Main Event as best that we can. I know Tony didn't watch it, so
get the TNA though. Taylor Jones, we're definitely going to touch on that. Maybe start his comment.
Bronson Reed made his return. Obviously, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins get the W. Zelina Vega retained her U.S. title over Chelsea Green, which also busted Chelsea Green's face open. I think they threw that match in there because everybody and their mother was complaining that there were no women's matches. I got to tell you something. Once upon a time, there was Saturday Night's Main Event, and there were no women's matches ever at all. So, like, I didn't see it as a big deal.
We call those the good old days.
Exactly.
John Cena took on R-Truth, who was basically cosplaying as Ron Cena, which I can't wait to get my hands on that t-shirt because I know that's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Cena faked everybody out, even faked out R-Truth. He was going to hit him with the belt, and then he stopped. They stared at each other. He gave the referee the title. Cena extended his hand to R-Truth. Bam! Kicked him with a low blow. AA. 1, 2, 3. We're out of there. There was an interaction between WWE champion John Cena and World Heavyweight champion Jey Uso, where he said it would be a shame if a YouTuber took the World Heavyweight Championship from him, which later that goes into something. We had the steel cage match, which is basically the grand finale to a feud the way it's supposed to be.
Who fought in the cage?
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
this
shit.
Was the last one.
Good?
I don't remember because I think I didn't get to see that match. For whatever reason, I was distracted.
I have a list here, and it says that was the last one.
The only thing I thought was funny from that was Jesse the Body Ventura was really dying on that hill of Damian Priest not climbing out of the cage, just walking out the door. Did you hear that?
Oh,
where
yeah.
he was like, he should have climbed out of the cage. He was really mad that he walked out through the door.
Realistically speaking, he hit him with the concerto, which kept him down.
Okay.
And I was surprised, but then after hearing all the reports that McIntyre will be stepping away for a little while, either due to injuries or possibly a big Hollywood role that's coming for him, I was like, all right, cool. He's been wanting to take more time off from wrestling anyway, as it is.
isn't it crazy that so many wrestlers now are becoming actors? They're getting like these big roles, and all of a sudden, like, that's crazy. Like I wasn't expecting all like you see once in a blue moon, like Cena, Hogan, Rock, and it's okay, but now it's like Cena, Rock, Liv Morgan, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns might be playing Akuma in Street Fighter. It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on? Like, well, now what all of a sudden Hollywood is like, we don't have enough actors, and you just turn, you go, oh, there's a bunch. Like
Seth
I don't.
Rollins gets cut from Brave New World.
Yeah, he was
The
supposed to
Captain
be.
America movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the leader of the Serpent Society or some shit. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. So
You
now,
know,
what else happened at Saturday Night's main event?
and the main event,
Okay,
Jey
man.
Uso defended his World Heavyweight Championship up against Logan Paul.
Paul.
Cena interfered, pulled
Yeah.
the referee out, then put the beats to Jey Uso, which then came a returning Cody Rhodes,
Oh, yeah,
who
that's right.
saved
So
them,
Rhodes, yeah.
and Jey Uso got to retain his title. Now, the big matchup, which means neither world champions defending their title, is going to be Logan Paul and John Cena teamed up, which I didn't expect anybody to get. But if Cena wants to get more heat, who better to put himself with that guy, which all the fans hate for different reasons, I think, by the way. I'm not going to get too deep into that. I think if you want to Google it, you'll know. Up against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, which is very interesting.
Well, but here's my thing. Like, I understand people don't want, like, oh, this bogus that they're fighting that the champions aren't defended, but the focal point of Money in the Bank should be Money in the Bank.
Briefcase. Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the title matches. So you have your championships, like champions on the show, which is good in a showcase tag team match. But the focal point should be the ladder match, because those are the two people, whether it's the woman or the man, that that they're putting the stock behind in the future. And when they ever put the briefcase on, whoever they put the briefcase on, it's usually an indication or like basically telling you these are the people that we are going to go with soon. We believe in them. So you need to start believing in them too. As how I always took Money in the Bank, and it goes all the way back to the first one with Edge, because Edge wasn't a world champion and he wins Money in the Bank. You're like, oh, they're going to start pushing this guy. This guy's going somewhere. There's a reason why they put a basically golden ticket in his hands. So that's why. Yeah, that's why I think it's a good idea to not showcase the championship matches, because you want the focal point to be the Money in the Bank match.
I think people, I don't know, there was this one video that people are on the pretense of belief that maybe, and I know Pun shared it with me, is of John Cena with the title over his shoulder, and it was on a truck. It was like a painting of sorts.
Okay.
And LA Knight like reaching over him, and I was just like, that's just funny, because I'm like, this is year 3. LA Knight is in Money in the Bank, and I know everybody's probably going to be going for him to win, but it's like, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think he's earned it.
Yeah, I could see LA Knight be. You know what? And you know what? The crowd is behind him enough, and it would be cool. Like, you see somebody dethrone Cena, and then he just comes out. Or this is a fucking crazy hot take, Malik. You ready for this? December. Now, you don't believe that John Cena will hold the belt till December, which is fine. But I believe that John Cena will hold the belt till December, and it's going to be a mass scramble to get the title off him. Like, as you could see what's going on right now. Because even I saw the post-match interview with R-Truth, where he was like, he's still in there. I saw the real John Cena in there. Like, I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to get it out of him. He's still there, right? I think this would be so crazy. John Cena beats Cody Rhodes again in December and is like about to just do the send-off, and then you hear LA Knight's music. He cashes in the Money in the Bank and wins. Like, I mean, you talk about 0 hour and kind of saves wrestling, and because Cena was going to ruin wrestling. He was going to take the belt. We were going to start over again, and LA Knight can use that. Like, I saved this place. Like, if you turn,
that is a crazy idea, but do you think anybody, I mean, I think people would be happier to see somebody brand new do it than Cody right now.
I would, like I said, if Cody, like, I want my rematch, I can beat you. And again, there's like a clusterfuck ending, and Cena's about to walk out of there with the title, and all of a sudden LA Knight's music hits. I believe that now you've now solidified LA Knight as the babyface, as the main guy. And now if you want to turn Cody heel, you can. But I believe that if that's going to happen, if LA Knight's going to win Money in the Bank, that would be a great way. Just wait until like Cena 0 hour and have him cash in, and you'll get that insane reaction. that I think they kind of want. But obviously, they do what they want. But I think that would be that'd be my little hot take if I had to.
So let's also put this out there that let's see, I think it's June 7th. They have not one but 2 PLEs in the same day.
On the same day, in the afternoon and at night, right?
Yes. And the first PLE will actually be airing on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I saw that. The Worlds Collide.
Yes. The big match that's headlining is Vikingo up against Chad Gable.
That's going to be good.
Kind of upset that it's not El Grande Americano, but I don't think they want El Grande Americano to take the loss.
Yeah.
So it's fine with Chad Gable taking the loss, but not El Grande Americano.
That's funny. Chad Gable's like, Jesus Christ, my secondary gimmick is more over than me.
But it works though. It works. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
It's also rumored that some TNA stars may be on it. There's a rumor that Joe Hendry, the Nemeths, and Moose may be on the show. Don't know how true that is. That's just the rumor that's been put out there.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, we obviously have seen like AEW's version of this kind of stuff with Japan, with Forbidden Door, right?
Yes, with Japan and CMLL. Yes.
That's CMLL. Do you think WWE is doing it better so far from what you see of the poster and like the production for it or the promotion?
Oh, definitely. They're definitely doing something special. Because they even showcase some of the talents just in backstage segment things. Even because when we get to talking about NXT Battleground, somebody that I've known forever because I grew up with them made an appearance on WWE television. So
that must have been good to see. Right,
nice
to see your boy on TV and shit like that. So shout out to Santana for being on. We filmed him. I have the footage of him winning the House of Glory title. Right, he beat Matt Cardona.
Yes, I was there for that.
You were there for that, right? Well,
Yes.
So we have that shit. So yeah, congratulations to Santana showing up on.
Who do I get him confused for? I was gonna say he was fighting my favorite.
You confuse people. Oh, you confuse him with La Sombra.
Oh.
Yeah, you always confuse him with that guy. Yeah. But yeah, no, listen. Listen, NXT and this AAA thing. Now, like, I will say this: Triple H and CMLL. I always felt CMLL was the better Lucha Libre promotion. I always felt like AAA was bedlam. It was fucking crazy. It was ridiculous.
AAA sounds like a car thing.
Well, the thing is, for me, I was more familiar with AAA because
me too. Yeah.
Living in New York, just flipping through the channels, you're like, "There's wrestling here."
Yeah, I was always on.
It was like I didn't care that it was in Spanish. I was just entertained by it.
Yeah,
I even saw a nasty leg injury on that show too. Somebody did a Sid, so I was just like, "Geez."
Yeah, buddy. Me and Matt, he used to come over every Sunday with a bacon ranch pizza, and we would watch. I know, and we would watch AAA on Galavision, and it would be we called Lucha Libre Sunday, and he would come over, and we would literally watch the entire program. Didn't know a fucking word they were saying. They would be cutting
Not
promos.
Even that?
No, and I know, and I'd be and I'd be like, I would basically. By listening and seeing their mannerisms and cadence, I'd be like, "Oh, this guy's angry about something. He's gonna kick somebody's ass." That kind of shit.
What's the channel it's on?
Galavision. That was
not Univision.
No, it was on Galavision.
Yes, I'm familiar with the channel Tony's talking about.
Yeah. It was. We always watched that shit. Yeah, it was good times, man. Then they switched because then like AAA wasn't on there no more. And it was CMLL, and that's where I got to see a lot of CMLL wrestlers, and I was like, "Whoa, CMLL seems to be more of a structured wrestling company or structured wrestling match as a AAA, where you'll see a guy just take a steel chair and hit a guy in the nuts with it for no fucking reason. Like there's no reason, just swings the chair like a maniac." And I'm referring to Psycho Clown. But like obviously, then it's in the name, Psycho Clown. But it just you see some of the stuff that they did, it was just like to me, it reminded me more of like an ECW version of Lucha Libre. And when you watch CMLL, it was like a straight WWE style where it was like a very structured wrestling match. So I was shocked to see WWE buy AAA. I thought maybe they would want more stock in CMLL because that's where they pull. Like they got Andrade from CMLL. They got a lot of guys from CMLL, not AAA, although they might have worked on both. But CMLL seems to be the one they tend to go to more.
I do have one thing that I'm questioning about it. Your champion, your main champion is Alberto El Patron or Del Rio to most fans. I'm wondering if they will showcase him at this show because he's not on the poster. So I'm very interested to see what will happen.
Now I've read mixed things. Some say that he signed. Some say that they're going to release him. Like they don't want him a part of the thing. I don't know what's true or not.
They have said that he is in their what section on the website? Damn it, I'm trying to remember.
Alumni.
Yeah, they're in the alumni section. So I was like,
Yeah. I used to like Alberto Del Rio. I had no problem with him. He was a good heel.
Yeah.
I felt like he was
just his personal life obviously got shown to the world, and that's where people are just, kind of
had it with
mixed thoughts about him,
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to him?
He beat somebody, didn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He had some personal shit. Yeah, he did some crazy shit. But it is what it is. Listen, I don't get into that kind of stuff.
It's his life, not mine. It's his
exactly,
life,
exactly.
I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just saying I'm here living my life. He's there living his. And that's that.
Yeah. Some people can't control their anger. That's just the way it is, man. So let's get to TNA. Trick Williams dethroned Joe Hendry to become the TNA champion.
Talk about something anybody did not see coming.
Yeah. Because I'm sure, I mean, of all the NXT guys that could have dethroned him, I said this to you the last time we did SpotMonkey Radio. I don't see it with Trick Williams. I don't see it.
You said it on air, off air. You are sticking to your guns.
Yeah, I don't see it with this guy.
It was already teased that Santana would have an interaction with Trick, and that started on a TNA episode.
Yeah, but they stared at each other, right?
I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen here? Man. The fact that he actually won the title is the shocking part. Yeah. What was more shocking and was history making is that the main event of a brand that is named NXT featured the TNA World Title as the main event. So it was a history making moment, and also a moment where people go, well, that don't make no sense. But I was just like, Miles Bourne up against Obafemi, which was a good match, even though I fell asleep on it. It was good. It was just, I was tired. It was a long week.
You mean store brand Randy Orton?
Correct. Randy Orton Jr.
RC Cola, Randy Orton.
I woke up and I see Trick has the title, and I was like, "There's no way this really happened." I was like, "No, it's a real thing."
Before we went live, I take my usual morning constitution, and I was looking on the fucking phone, and I see the first image on my Facebook is Trick Williams with the TNA title, and I'm like, they put the belt on this guy.
Everybody knows that when everybody saw Trick and Carmelo was the better in-ring worker between
100%.
But Trick has the gift of gab, he has the charisma, he has the size. So they put him out there front and center. So I'm not surprised at the man's success.
Yeah.
Will he get better along the way for you to be like, I'll give him the seal of improvement and I give him the thumbs up? Only time will tell. Yeah. Maybe give it a few months, maybe you might change, or your mind will still remain the same.
It's simple. If you evolve and you get better as time goes, like then I listen, I didn't like Drew McIntyre for a while, and then he kind of wore on me, and I'm like, yo, he's good. What the fuck are you talking about? And then like same with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was annoying. Then he got into the Hurt Business. He got with the right manager in MVP, the right situation in that Hurt Business, and now it's the Hurt Syndicate. Then you're like, he's not that bad. Once you set them up in a position where it makes you accentuate their positives and hide all the negatives. I call what I call like I see it. I'm like, yeah, you've gotten much better. The one I see on NXT, and I tell you this all the time that I love, is he talks like a superhero, and that's Obafemi. He talks like Black Panther, and I believe that is their star, and he needs to be their guy. I love that guy. I love Obafemi. I love the whole aesthetic. I love this dance shit that he does to the ring against the crowd. A little amped up to watch the match.
He's crazy over. The funny thing is also, I'm thinking they would change the way the look is of the set. No, it's still the same way. The way, if you saw the way it looked on Saturday's main event, where they just had the aisle There's no big like set. It's still the same. So it's gonna be that way for tonight because they're doing Raw in Tampa. They're also doing, I think they're also doing NXT again in Tampa because it's a 4-night thing. So
Yeah.
why not?
You know what though? If they keep that entrance that they kept from Saturday Night's Main Event, they should have done like an old school Raw. Remember those old school theme Raws that they always used to do?
Yes.
They should do
I
something
think
like
they
that.
don't do them because the majority of the wrestlers are dead.
I know, unfortunately, and the ones you bring back,
Sadly, yeah.
this young crowd just doesn't get. Let me ask you this, as an old timer: do you get annoyed like when you watch this shit and someone turns around and says something outlandish, like I don't know, like, I'm just using this as an example, like someone turns around and goes, "Oh, the Undertaker sucks. Why they bring in him? He's old." Like doesn't would that,
When
like,
you say stupid shit like that,
yeah,
it just allows me to know that you are not wrestling educated at all.
yeah. You're a fucktard, and you shouldn't be watching this. That's what I always say. Like, come on, dude.
Well,
like,
no, that's the new crowd, the young crowd, isn't it?
yeah. It's
I
just
mean,
like, exactly the young crowd. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
babe. Yeah.
I will say in the locker room, one of the best conversations that took place was who was a better promo, Brett or Shawn. And I was like, I enjoyed Shawn Michaels promos, but Brett as a heel
He was good.
from his 97 Brett is probably my favorite version of Bret Hart ever.
Yeah. Dude, when he when he basically calls Shawn gay. Remember those days?
Yes.
You're sitting there in the locker room with you. You're a fairy. You and your boy girl magazine. Remember, he used to really get
the
on him.
things that you could not say today that would be deemed as offensive.
Yeah.
Even in a world where it's pretend,
Yeah.
you'd still be offended. But I'm like, people do this in everyday life. So it's just like,
It's like comedy.
once again, that's one of those things. That's another, but that's the thing. Comedians go and they say anything and people still get offended. And it's just like, you realize it's comedy, right?
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I just, sometimes you hear that stuff and you turn around, you look at somebody and it's like, you must be new to this because you're picking your new favorites or you're picking your favorites. You don't
There's no
know
reason to diss the
about
old
you don't know about the old guard, the ones
Yeah.
who paved the way for these people that you love so much. Like, listen, when I was young and I would watch wrestling with my dad, and he would bring up Chief J Strongbow and Bruno Sammartino, and I would look at him and go, "Those guys sucked." Like I'm an idiot. I don't realize that they paved the way for the Hitman, for Shawn Michaels, and for other guys that I was watching.
But you see, there are certain guys from that era where I was just like, I still would not. First of all, I'm not picking them in the video game. That's number one. I will never
100%.
pick Bruno Sammartino unless it's to get an achievement. Okay, that's number one. Number two. There are guys like Flair and Dusty and Barry Windham that are from that era that were so talented, whether it be on the mic or in the ring, where I could respect it. But there are some guys from that time and era where I'm just like, okay, Bob Backlund, to me, my favorite Bob Backlund run is where he snapped. I can't say I was a fan of 6-year World Heavyweight Champion Bob Backlund. But I was a baby or not even alive then. So, my introduction to the guy was where he went crazy.
Yeah, in '94 when he showed up and you saw him, like, he was regular. He wasn't snapped yet. And he was just wrestling on like Sunday Morning Superstars. I used to make fun of him all the time. I mean, who is this fucking guy? Like, he sucks. Why is he here? And I'm not realizing that he was a 6-year champion many years ago. I don't fucking know. And it, like you said, it wasn't until he snapped and he choked out Bret Hart with the chicken wing. And then he started to go crazy. And then he tried to run for president. Obviously, he didn't actually run for president, but he was like campaigning in the crowd. That you were like, oh, this fucking guy, he's funny. He's entertaining. Now you're watching. Now you catch it. Like, again, those old timers. Like, if you told me, like my father told me about Bruno Sammartino, and sometimes they play the old shit on TV on the network or whatever the fuck at the time when the network was around. And I tried, but it was like a cure for insomnia. I'm like, I can't watch this. They're rolling around on the floor for fucking 42 minutes. Like, what the fuck? I
when they had the classic house shows and you just go through them to watch. Like some of the ones that were in the Garden, I was like, I know I attended at least 2 of them in like either 91 or 92. I was a child then. So it was like, let me see if I can remember some of it and watch or whatever. I was just like, there's some things that you just can't watch.
Yeah.
And I understand.
Like Hercules Hernandez. Jesus.
Okay, there were some Hercules Hernandez matches I didn't mind, but he was not the best in-ring guy.
The best part was he had that long chain that he would swing around at the end of
Oh
matches.
my God.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it was built for the audience back then, and modern audiences just
Audiences, but like they loved the characters. Even back
Mm.
then, like if you were a crazy character, like George the Animal Steel would bite the fucking turnbuckle pad, and all the stuffing would come out, and the crowd would go nuts for that shit. Like he didn't. That wasn't a wrestling hold. He just ate the turnbuckle. You know, like it's just shit like that. They loved. Even back then, they loved the outlandish character. Like, what's his face? Superstar Billy Graham was really the first one to come out and with all the shit, the earrings,
Yeah.
the colorful shirts, to be posing in the
He's
ring.
the reason why Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan are the way that they
Yeah.
are, from that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, they paved the way. And he kind of took, if I'm not mistaken, from Dusty. So, like, they were
Yes.
like all copying each other. Dusty Rhodes was, listen, when you look at Dusty Rhodes, and I mean this with all due respect, you don't see a pro wrestler.
No.
You see some fat dude like that should be fixing your fucking sink. His ass should be
Or
hanging out
car.
of his like that. That's
Yeah.
but he was so so charismatic that you didn't care about his body weight. You didn't give a fuck that he was overweight and out of shape. He was like, this guy's amazing. He's awesome. That's what I'm saying. Like Bruno Sammartino, he's a 7-year champion. It was boring. It wasn't good. Like I said, it was always about characters, and it'll always be about characters.
Yeah, he was crazy over and sold out the Garden as many times as he possibly could. So,
when someone says something crazy to me,
we understand the people that paved the way, but like, if you're gonna talk to us about in-ring work about these people, you're just gonna be like, yeah, no, I don't see it.
These, like I said, the new wrestling family, I just can't deal with. I just can't. They're so stupid. I mean, you hate to say it like that. You don't want to be a closed-minded guy.
If there's one thing I wish right now is that Will Ospreay stayed out of if not the dirt sheets, but news reports. To say that there are certain talents, because we covered this last time when we were on the show. To say that the WWE, just like there are so many talents there's an AJ Styles, there's a Seth Rollins. There are guys that are there that can work and bring good matches. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens when he's not hurt. Randy Orton still at this age. Chad Gable's another one. There are guys that can do things that he can do, and sometimes even better.
Oh yeah, 100%. And here's the thing to me, like with that Will Ospreay comment, it's like WWE's mid-carders are entertaining. Like their opening guys are entertaining. Your AEW guys aren't. They're not. So you could. I mean, listen. I mean, you're repping. I understand you're repping your company. You want people to come watch you on AEW. You don't give a fuck about WWE. But speak truth. Like I like how MJF says it. MJF says you're stupid if you're not watching everything. You should be a student of the game. You should be watching everybody's wrestling. You shouldn't be talking shit about anybody because at some point you might be on that show. So you should be watching everything. Like that's the way it is. There's way too much. It's tough for me to catch everything, dude. It is.
I don't blame you. We do not blame you.
Yeah, Nico, it is insane how much wrestling is on television. But like I said, I can watch Raw, SmackDown. That is it. I'm still a kid of that era where it's Raw, it's SmackDown. I don't need NXT. I mean, if TNA, I don't have the channel. Otherwise, I would kind of check it out.
If there's anything of any importance that I'm trying to catch up with, is all of John Cena's merchandise. Which so far I'm doing pretty well. I got more things waiting for me at the job. I said if Cena reaches to 31 shirts before October, I will go in everywhere dressed up like John Cena every day. Don't care what the weather is.
That's great. If anybody says anything to you, you just tell them that you are studying. You are studying.
Thank you. Exactly. She said it best. They can't see me.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see this?
Yes, we talked about it. Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it.
So here's the thing. Joe Hendry has not only been in the Royal Rumble, he's also been a part of WrestleMania. At some point, his TNA contract will be up. Do I think Joe Hendry will get a rematch for the championship? Yes, because I'm pretty sure that there is a TNA pay-per-view or one of their like Friday pay-per-view shows that will take place before their big Slammiversary show. Do I think he's going to win it back? Probably not. Could it be a triple threat match with Santana in the mix? Yeah. I can see that happening. Sometimes TNA does a thing where you want this person to win the title and they don't. So right now,
Has Santana been the TNA World Champ yet? No.
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 But you could see that for a while they've been building up to making him the face of the company.
Yeah, the main guy. Yeah.
And he's got a big match tomorrow night against Tavian Heights. Tavian Heights is somebody I'm actually high on, who's pretty a pretty good worker in the ring. He went over to Noah, I believe, for a little while. He had a little excursion away from NXT and then came back. I just wish they would showcase him more, but he's in a faction, and sometimes when they do faction stuff, they'll wind up in either triple threat tag matches or battle royals or whatever. So you don't get to really see how good he is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a mockery, Taylor. I understand that you seem to be a big TNA fan and you don't want to see a guy from NXT come in and win.
You could just be a Joe Hendry fan, and there's a lot of those people.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I mean,
do you have the thing?
Hold on. You're right, baby. Look at you producing the show. My lady produces the show, and she is just.
He appears.
There's a reason why I wanted you here and be on screen, because you're listen. Tony and I can talk forever and a day. You have great insight and input, so that's the reason. There's talent there, so that's the reason why I asked for it.
I believe.
Apparently, I could do this too.
Fox, you should be a ring announcer for NXT. Here's why she can't, Taylor James.
Here's why she can't.
Yeah. She, I don't think she'd be able to get into and do that dumb ring announcer voice that they want you to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, what about this?
Fox, you should go for a WWE trial, at least start wrestling in the Indies. Absolutely not, Taylor James. My wife has scoliosis.
Start wrestling?
Yeah.
Wait.
As a former wrestler.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You don't have a desire like that for wrestling, do you?
No, I don't know where these comments came from.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting here like, what?
Yeah, no.
I would like to make the costumes for the people. That's about as far as I would go.
She's into the fashion of pro wrestling.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, no, she.
But even then, that'd be annoying.
I love my wife with all my heart, Taylor. But if she took one bump, it would shatter her to pieces.
I don't
know.
We'll have to see that one day.
Yeah.
Tony, if we take a bump right now, it'll shatter us to pieces.
150%. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. But I appreciate the encouragement, Taylor. That's she just started.
Two options, apparently.
She did just start going to the gym now. So if she puts on some mass, maybe we'll get her ass in that ring and see if she can handle it.
Yeah.
If I could be her manager, just walk around, right?
I wouldn't have a character at all. I would just have outfits and song ideas. That's it. You
would definitely need me to be a manager to do your mouth, to do your speaking.
Oh, yeah.
Because clearly you don't want to do it.
No.
So, fake my ass. Wrestling, specifically WWE, is a global phenomenon. No other sport has many fans. That's true. But
who was it? Matt said he was watching like SmackDown in German. He went to Germany.
Yeah. Matt went to Germany a couple weeks ago. He said the first thing when he went to the hotel and he turned on the TV, the first thing that popped on TV was SmackDown. It was in German, shit like that. Yeah.
I got a stupid question because I don't know. Did the Knicks win last night? It has nothing to do with wrestling. I'm scared.
Yeah. They came back. They came back with a 20-point deficit.
It's starting to make my theory start to make some sense. I said that I know you probably don't care about basketball, but I'm gonna have this conversation on air now and get out of the way. I said that the Knicks will probably wind up winning the next two. Then it's gonna be a case of back and forth, and then you get to the game 7 and probably be Knicks in 7.
You hope so.
There's storyline here, okay?
See, I said this. That haunted them. That haunted them just like Reggie Miller when he did it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't recover for that series in the 90s. And when Tyrese Halliburton did that shit at game 1, I was like, but you know what? They now gave it back to them. So like in game 3, they were down. The Knicks were down by 20. They came back from behind to win the game. But you know what? Here's the thing. Even if the Knicks don't make it, the fact that the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals, you got to like the Knicks have been, historically bad.
5 years.
Yeah, historically bad. I mean, they have been a laughing stock of the NBA for a while.
Like the Mets.
Hey, okay.
Oh, that was. Yeah.
You see that? You see that?
That was sick.
You
Woo!
see that? She fired a shot right across.
Wow, she knows how to get to you. That was sharp. I felt, ooh,
Yeah.
my side.
Yeah, she fucking.
Did you pierce me too? I'm bleeding. Like, yo, you didn't need to say that.
Yeah, you fuck.
You could have said the Nets. Like, but my goodness.
She said the fuck, Jesus. But yes, I
You know what it is? It's the colors. It's the colors. That's why.
Yeah. But at least to see them now playing meaningful basketball in the summer months, it's nice to see. I always tell my wife this. I say, you don't understand, because she doesn't really watch sports. I said, when New York sports are good, when the teams are good, seems like New York is like firing all cylinders. When the sports teams are bad, and right now, I hate to say it, with the exception of the Mets and the Yankees, because the Yankees are in first place, the Mets are in second place. Dick. The rest of the Giants suck balls. The Jets, Jets are a laughing stock. They always have.
The Giants suck. When it was my pops and Jones. We went to a Giants game in last December, and we were sitting like, I forgot how close we were. We were like damn near on the field, and I was just like, yeah, this is bad.
When sports teams are bad, the tickets go down to like literally $5. You could just buy a $5.
Yo, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I was telling my lady, I was like, there's no way on earth I'm gonna get good seats like this for SummerSlam at this price. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
Which,
too.
Back to wrestling, the rumors of WrestleMania. So New Orleans does not get WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, what was that about? What is this about?
New Orleans will now get Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank won't be as early as June. It'll be next August in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Rumor has it that there's a potential chance that WrestleMania, if not in Canada, if not in the United States, could be overseas in the UK. If it doesn't happen that way, and it is in the United States, it may have a bit of a residency for WrestleMania for the next couple of years, which I think is a terrible idea.
You mean residency in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. Jesus
Christ. For it to just be sitting in Vegas, 2026, 2027, so on and so forth, you just be like, it's not fun. And I guess it's because of how much money they made off of it.
Well, because look, there's gambling. That the city is up all night. You don't have to go to sleep. It's
they had something for like at least those 5 or 6 days going on nonstop.
You know what? As I agree with that, but I don't want to hear it. If the last time they were in New Orleans, it was a party the whole fucking time. So like it's like, come on, wherever WrestleMania is, the party follows. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it has to be residency in Vegas, and I think that sucks to anybody who wants WrestleMania to come to their city because it helps the economy. It's a big fucking thing for that month when they come to these, because all these independent wrestling shows show up, all these fucking cons show up. It's a big fucking thing that helps the city that it's in. And I think
get to piggyback off of WrestleMania, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that would be a fucking dumb move. That would be not to just leave it in one city. I think that's fucked up. I don't think that.
But then the other issue is ticket prices.
That
5 figures for the first 5 or 10 rows is
insane.
Wild.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah,
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Looking at tickets for SummerSlam,
but it's just like football. Like when the teams are good, you don't want to pay a ticket price because the tickets are insane. They're crazily overpriced because the team is good, and it's like it's the same shit right now. Like wrestling, you want to come see this show, you have to pay this ticket. But it's like, you know what? I'll just watch the shit at my house. I can order food. I can go to the bathroom and not have to wait on a line. Yeah. I can sit there and just watch it from a climate controlled fucking bedroom or a living room. I can invite who I want. I don't have to sit there next to some fat fucking slob who is telling me The Undertaker sucks. It's like I don't have to sit next to these retards. And I say that with all due respect, but I don't want to fucking sit next to these people. I can't. Dude,
I'm pulling away Tony's respect, just so y'all know.
I'm sorry. It's out of this world how expensive it is to sit there and be uncomfortable for fucking 7 hours.
Definitely not to have been able to go to WrestleMania 17 or 18 shit. I think WrestleMania 19 front row seats were like $450. That's 2003. We're in 2025, where the seats are like 50,000 front row.
Yeah,
Like,
45. You just said it.
Wait, what?
A couple years ago, WrestleMania 17, 10 to 20 years ago, it was a $450 ticket to sit up
Yeah.
front. Now it's a $45,000 ticket to
Are
sit
you
up front.
serious?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's fucking
yeah.
ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant it was like 5,000, not
No.
45.
No.
45
45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They're
is
trying
$45
the way they're trying to market it is the same way they treat TKO treats UFC. They're trying to do the same thing with WWE, and that's just going to make fans want to reject wrestling. And before you know it, their AEW will wind up having more fans somehow because it's affordable ticket to go to these
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Before we go any further,
Who even has?
before we go any further, I just want to say
$45,000?
something. Zach, nobody skipped over you. Happy Memorial Day. We're just trying to stick with it. We started your comment, but I just wanted you to Happy Memorial Day, buddy.
Yes.
Listen, I would never spend that much money on a fucking ticket. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't give a shit who it is. Like you could tell me that, oh, we've reincarnated the Macho Man Randy Savage. He is back from the dead. Prime Savage. I still wouldn't pay
Savage.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, you want to come see me? Yeah, come on down. All right. Yeah, I'm going to be in the ring one-on-one. Yeah.
You know, it's
No,
like,
like,
everybody's gonna freak out. Yeah.
All you got to do, all you got to do is take a mortgage out on your house. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
for
you can
real.
come
That's what you
see
got to
me.
do at that point.
Yeah.
fuck you, man.
You're spending
Fuck
money
that.
on cars out here. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely not. I cannot. You and anybody who spends that. I mean, did you see the one sign at WrestleMania where the guy said, "I spent a small fortune to get
No,
here"?
it was I financially ruined myself for this.
Oh yeah, I financially
favorite
ruined
sign.
myself just to be here.
Nothing was more ridiculous than seeing the guy sitting so high up and taking his phone and watching WrestleMania on Peacock while at WrestleMania.
That's hysterical.
All right, fuck you. Man. Fuck
You know, then it's not a place you should be.
Yeah.
No, I said that to Greco when we went to WrestleMania in Dallas. Because at one point
We were just watching.
we're sitting there looking at
Yeah.
the giant screen. We're not watching the ring. We're not watching it happen live. We're
Oh
just
my
sitting there
God.
staring at the fucking TV. And I look over at Greco. I go, we could have just done this at the hotel. We could have just done this at the hotel. Like, we're watching it on the screen. Like, I spent all this
And I
money.
know
to come
that
to
night it
Texas.
was a long night for you.
It was the long. As soon as we
I
walked
think it was
out
like
there,
a 6-hour show probably at that point.
it definitely was. And when we walked out of there,
It
I was
definitely
so spent.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want. And we went to Raw the next night.
Oh my God.
We went to Raw the next night. It was just ridiculous, man. It's so much wrestling on that weekend, and now they're doing it again with SummerSlam. Dude, check this out. We're at BCW yesterday, and they announce a show, July 31st on a Thursday at the Mecca
Yeah.
for his show because it's SummerSlam weekend, and everybody is apparently going to book the Mecca. And I say the Mecca loosely because I can't fucking stand when they call that building that.
Oh, hold on, sorry.
That whole week is going to be booked up with wrestling because SummerSlam is in Jersey.
Let me tell you something. It's already weird when I'm not as heavily involved in any wrestling like I was literally a decade ago.
Yeah.
But when I randomly see, oh, the show date it's a Tuesday? What? It's a Thursday? What? Like,
Okay.
none of that is appealing to me at all.
No, it doesn't
one.
register. Yeah. When they
But
said it,
but also these days, like for me, there are a lot of comedians that I want to see. So
Okay.
so this weekend there's Ali Sadiq, which is on a Saturday. I'm off on Saturday. So like, okay, if I want to jump up and get late tickets for that show, is doable. Comedian Godfrey, who I love to see, his shows will be on weekdays, and I'm like, motherfucker, I work.
Yeah.
But then now these days it's like, because we're getting closer to summer, people don't care, so they turn around and go. Wrestling is more difficult. Wrestling, you have to make sure you're able to draw as far as the indie show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anybody's numbers. It is what it is. So all you have to do is hope that shows push so hard that way people turn around and pop up. But
Yeah, I think they're banking on the fact that there's going to be so many people in Jersey for SummerSlam weekend that they're just going to be, oh, look what this wrestling
But
show's
why
on.
would they want to go?
Oh, fuck, I'll just tell you.
but my thing is, but that's the thing. if they show up, let's say, here's the thing. Access will probably pop up there on Thursday.
Yeah.
People are more than likely to turn around and go. If you don't go to SummerSlam, you're more than likely to go to Access for the sites to see what you can see and to see if, because I don't know if they do free autographs anymore at Access. I don't know if that's a thing,
Yeah,
because they used to.
Yeah.
So, like, all you're doing realistically is just looking at everything. And if you want to pay for somebody's autograph, good luck, because they also got Fanatics Fest. I read that for John Cena to take a photo with him is $310. To get things autographed by John Cena, it's $200. It's basically $300. One of the lowest tickets I heard was for like Damian Priest, and that was like either 80 something or 90 something bucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, you know, for photos and autographs, all these things, it's they're finding ways to make money, and more power to them. But like, I'm fine with just sitting where I'm at in the confines of my home or
I don't
friend's
need to
home.
wait on a line to just have somebody sign a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I spend enough on your merchandise that I don't need to turn around and try. And I could literally say that.
Bro, you literally have a John Cena shirt. They should move you to the front of the line for free. They should,
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead. You earned this one.
I should just take all the shirts, turn into one big ass blanket, and be like, "What you mean?
A big quilt, yeah.
This is my payment. What do you mean?"
Yeah. I have
Cena
been
shirt since 2010. What do you mean?
I have been a financial contributor to this website for decades.
It's to the point now that I get, so like, you know, when you order stuff, you get fan cash. There's to the point where they give me like 10 to 20 bucks in fan cash when there are delays, and I'm like, oh, give me that because I've earned that.
Yeah, damn right. God damn, they definitely got to give you a couple buybacks of the amount of fucking merchandise you bought from that company. I mean, Jesus Christ. Do you even want to? I mean, we touched on AEW a little bit, but I don't give a fuck about
I have
it.
a lot of starred comments.
All right, so let's get to the comments. Let's see what some of the people got to say. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this morning. We appreciate you. I worry about Bronson Reed's injury. His running looked bad. Is he fully healed? Is he 100%?
I want to say he is, because I don't think he would turn around and take that risk of doing a spot like that.
That girls will wait the whole time and more, and you said guys will just
won't
come back even if they're not good yet?
What I noticed
Guys,
is
when Triple H tore his quad, Kevin Nash said that Triple H was working like 5 months straight just to get his quads right and working hard, rehabbing twice a day. So there is that possibility. I wouldn't be surprised.
I said this to her, and I mean this again with all due respect, but women tend to wait out the whole thing. So if let's say a doctor says you got 6 months to a year, they'll wait the whole year to make sure they're here. Where a guy, they tend to be like, well, you got 6 months to a year, and in 6 months they're like, I'm ready to go, let's do this, and they go back either too early or shit like that, because in their mind, I'm ready to go. Now, I'm not saying some women don't do it, some women probably do it, but I'm just saying, like, what I've noticed from recent years is women tend, if they get hurt, they will wait the whole length of the grace.
Are they rehabbing the same way?
Yeah, they're rehabbing, but I don't know if they're rehabbing like he said. Triple H was going twice.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like Triple H would wanted to condense the time. He did not.
Because everybody was saying he wasn't going to be able to come back, and he proved them wrong.
Yeah, you have to put this one comment up, the last one, babe. So this is a bold proclamation. AEW Double or Nothing was amazing. Eddie James.
I can't co-sign on it because I didn't see it, and you know what I will do. Because I'm the dummy and I do this. I ordered it on pay-per-view.
Sick bastard.
I'm not home. Yeah, I know, very sick bastard. I'm not home. I'm at my lady's place. I will go home. Here's how I watch AEW now. I take at least an edible or 4, and
or 4.
I'm dead serious. Everybody tells me like maybe you shouldn't. I'll be like, shut your mouth. I'm grown adult. I know what I'm doing. I will have more than one edible, and I will sit, and that's the best way. That's how I enjoyed the last one. If I'm being honest, that's so Eddie, sometimes the only way.
I gotta ask this, Eddie. If you're still in the chat, what was amazing about it? But what did you like about it? What was your favorite match?
If you say Anarchy in the Arena, I don't know you. No disrespect, but I'm gonna call you a liar because that match is just chaos. I've already seen 3 of them.
See, listen, and again, I mean, so I want to like AEW, I really do, but when I've watched it, it's just chaos, like you just said. It's all over the place. Their
Things don't make sense. You said.
Yeah, things
They
just
don't do
don't
shit
make
with whoever
sense.
wins the belt. Okay,
He says, y'all not AEW fans. I personally am not,
Wait,
Eddie. But I will get to Virgo Cool. But Malik watches it. He watches it regularly. He just buys the pay-per-views, as he just says. So he wants to enjoy it. But there's a lot of times it doesn't make any sense. We are former professional wrestlers, so we kind of see inside baseball a little bit.
My DVR, I'm sorry to cut you off, Tony. My DVR, I knew he was going to say that match because that actually did look like a really good match. I might be able to halfway co-sign it. I just need to watch for myself. My DVR is filled with AEW pay-per-views since 2022. There is only one AEW pay-per-view that I am missing that I thought I recorded and I didn't, and that was when they did the first All In in London. Other than that, I'm up to date with every AEW pay-per-view since 2020.
That sucks because you would have had the last appearance of CM Punk.
Yeah.
But Eddie, like, listen, it's not that we hate. Like, I don't sit here and scream from the mountaintops like some channels do about how bad it is and how it sucks. I just don't watch. Like, I'm just one of those guys where I'm not going to tell you how much I hate it, but then every Wednesday sit front and center on the TV and watch it. I'm going to tell you it's not for me. I'm just not into it, so I don't watch it. If you're into it, it's fine. It's wrestling. You watch what you want to watch, but I tend to stick with WWE. I have my entire life. Even when WCW was on television, I was flagging WWE's banner. But it's like I want it to be good. I love healthy competition. I love when wrestling is good all across the board. All companies have something to offer because that means that there are options. That means you can watch anything. You can put on any wrestling program at any time and be entertained. That has always been my viewpoint on pro wrestling, and I still want it that way. Unfortunately, there are people in charge of these said companies that don't see that kind of shit and then just book how they want to book it because it's their show. They're in charge, and you can see it shows. That's all. And it's Tony Khan is a mark for himself, and he basically plays video game wrestling where he just books what he wants, doesn't give a fuck. That's and I'm just saying this from what the eye test, from what I see. And then I only say that because when they do the press conferences, and I made the joke about it a couple weeks ago, he's like cozied up next to the guy that he signed because he loves that fucking guy. It's just you're a mark. You're a mark for Will Ospreay. That's why you want to hug him. You're a mark for Claudio. That's why you want to hug him. It's just like be a boss. Don't be a fan. That's the one.
They're just something. I mean, but here's the thing.
That's a crazy.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at the comments. I don't think that I am. I'm laughing at the fact that I think about when Triple H takes a photo with somebody that's won a title or won a trophy or a tournament of something of sorts, and he does the point, right?
Yeah.
Tony Khan's counteract is the hug.
Yeah.
He wants to be more familiar, like
friendly. He wants to know.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
He wants the talent to know that he loves them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's here's the thing. It's about respect. Like you can love somebody, but you have to be like a professional respect.
I can see what Eddie James is saying here, where WWE doesn't make him feel like anything, but it's just UFC like, and that's because TKO is in charge. I just feel that there were more stories that I could hook myself to while watching WWE over AEW.
As someone who watched UFC a lot growing up, that doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing. I understand what he's saying. Do you know why? Because the way they film it. WWE now is filmed like a sports program.
Well, yeah.
That's why they show them entering the arena, coming out of their cars. That's why they have the press conferences.
But that's where it starts and stops.
But that's so. If you're saying that it's like UFC light in that aspect, I agree. They show the dumb celebrities, and I use that term loosely. Who the fuck wants
the results on the side pop up now?
Yeah, exactly. The results of the matches pop up just like.
I love this comment.
Just like so we have a problem with Tony Khan being a nice guy. We don't have a time, but Eddie, there's a difference between being a nice guy and being a fucking mark, like a fan, like a crazy fan who like meets somebody and cries because they can't hold their composure together because that's how
also
that's how it
hugging
feels.
Crosses the line of professionalism.
That's what I'm saying. Is a professional respect. Triple H does this, professional
and
respect.
Also the point is actually more professional because it's saying like he's the star, not me. By hugging the guy, you're kind of putting yourself over, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion. Hold on, what's it say now?
And WWE doesn't care about fans no more, and going back to Vegas every year now. Yeah, well, we just talked about this.
Well, I can agree with that. If it happens that way, I can agree with that statement.
100%
We
agree.
ultimately have to wait and see. I feel like it's funny. I think some of the jokes that also been made is that The Rock, of all people, was the one to have announced. I think on SmackDown that they were coming back to New Orleans, and it's like, you weren't even around for WrestleMania, but you had to involve yourself in a storyline that didn't even need you. I don't know where they're going with certain things. It is going to be
Rough Shot said AEW was great at first, but like every other company, they can't keep up with WWE.
I could agree with that statement too. The earlier AEW definitely had me interested. I feel like their better years were within the first three. And then at some point, I feel like, honestly, once they lost CM Punk, that's where things started to fall off tracks.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Tony Khan. And Eddie, we're not saying that we want that we think AEW sucks and we're happy that it's bad or whatever. Because like I said, some people like you enjoy it. What I'm saying is that there was a time, the 3 years, like Malik said, where it was decent to watch. It was watchable. In those 3 years, he should have gotten like a writing staff or a staff of creative guys that could help him continue this momentum. Like he had good momentum when he started, and no one was able. Like I don't know if he just didn't trust nobody. I don't know the story because I'm not privy to any of this shit. I don't work there. But what I'm saying is he doesn't have guys that are sitting there with him going, no, this doesn't make sense. We have to go this way. You have to do it this way. Maybe this will make more sense. Try something this way. There doesn't seem like there's any structure there. So when you watch the program, you can see that there's no structure. It's all over the place. And the fact that their world champion has put their title in a briefcase now for months and you haven't even seen the title, that doesn't make any sense to me neither. Like there's no structure. And I cannot sit there and watch it and tell you that it's good when, as someone who's watched wrestling for 40 fucking years and has been involved in it and it now produces it, and I've watched people plan it out. I've watched guys plan out matches. I've watched top promotions figure shit out. Like there's no structure.
I'm wondering if Eddie is more of a fan of the wrestling matches over the stories.
That could be it.
Because I feel like that is where he is a bigger fan of that product. There's nothing wrong with that. There was a time where I would watch Ring of Honor, and it was purely because of the wrestling, because there wasn't much storyline because they didn't really have TV. So you're just watching from DVD to DVD to DVD at that time before they wound up getting television. So I could understand that aspect of it. But some of the stories, with the exception of the one story that I am enjoying when I do watch, would be MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate. That's the only story that's there. This Death Rider stuff hopefully goes away when he is dethroned of being the champion. The longer we continue to see it, it's not going to make me interested in watching the main event scene of AEW. The women's championship scene has been fun with Toni Storm, but now it's about to go to Mercedes Moné, contrary to what anybody thinks. She's going to be the first person to become the double champion of the women's division. I don't understand as to why at all.
Go back to
why is that necessary?
Tony Khan does have a writing staff. Everybody agrees that the Death Riders are trash. Well, I'm glad we can agree on that. But if he does have a writing staff, Eddie, he needs to fire them because it's not good. The storylines go nowhere. There's like 100 people feuding with each other. Even Jeff Jarrett, he said that the shit he did with MJF made no sense. He said it on his own show.
I heard that.
He said it on his own show.
But then, you know, okay, so you're saying the world champion is feuding with everybody, right? Did you just say that, or
I'm just saying, like,
because I'm about to say Jey Uso right now is kind of feuding with Gunther, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins and his crew, and even John Cena. So the stories are all over the place.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like one time I watched. There was Jeff Jarrett was going after the belt. MJF wanted to go after the belt. Edge was, and they were all like, it was like, what the fuck is going on? And he has the belt in a briefcase and he's nowhere to be found. Like, it was just one of those things where it made no sense. Now, don't get me wrong. The shit with Jey Uso, and I told you this, I don't see Jey Uso having a lengthy title run because this shit eventually it's gonna get old. Eventually, this shit no one's gonna give a fuck about. So
I don't know. I this is the thing. He's been doing it now very strong for nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
And
He's finally on the mountaintop.
Yeah, it's true. You're right, babe. You're right.
There is people think that he'll probably be the one that gets cashed in on.
Which
I don't
it's-
think I don't think he's the one who needs that.
Mm-mm.
I think the cash in needs to go to the other title this year.
Yeah,
Because we already had it last
Try to
year.
ruin wrestling. Yeah, so
We already had it last year. That's the guy you go for if we're making logic for it to make sense. Seth Rollins become the heavyweight champion again, or Gunther become the heavyweight champion again, doesn't do much for me. So I'm curious to see if somebody brand new. I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb and say maybe they should make Logan Paul the heavyweight champion of
I
Raw.
would want to see that. Yeah.
That wouldn't be crazy. That wouldn't be out of the realm like that. I would be okay with that.
Because imagine the heat he's going to get.
Yeah.
And the fans will be invested in seeing people chase him as their world champion.
I grew up in the ruthless aggression era in 2005. That's why I enjoy AEW a little more than WWE. Okay. That's on that. Listen, you like the wrestling matches. You're into the matches themselves and the talent in the
Isn't
ring.
that the one where the girls were like in the blood?
No.
What was it a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, right? Where you guys were talking about like, was that AEW?
Oh, you're talking about the match between Mariah May and Toni Storm. Yeah, that was too much.
Yeah,
that was for even seeing ECW's blood, even then it was too much.
Yeah.
But to see women do it, it's just even more crazy.
Well, they
Tony,
around in their periods.
Oh, Jesus Christ! My good, what I was gonna act. Damn it! You almost made me forget what I was gonna ask Tony. Okay, so because I know we're about to come to a close. Out of all the title reigns that you've lived to have seen, you've seen Hulk Hogan be champion for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen the reign of terror, as they called it, for Triple H, where he was champion for X amount of years. You have seen where John Cena was champion for a long time and wasn't losing on pay-per-view. And now we have Jon Moxley. Which one is your least favorite?
Jon Moxley. 100% Jon Moxley. I'm okay with John Cena. I understand why they did it with John Cena. John Cena was that version's Hulk Hogan.
Correct.
And they did it with Hulk Hogan, so I understood it. Triple H, the same thing. Triple H, I don't think Triple H gets the credit he deserves.
He doesn't. As a great villain, he does not.
Yeah, and I think Triple H, you may call it the reign of terror, but at the time,
I'm just quoting people.
No, I know. People call it the reign of terror, but at the time, he was the best guy for the job. You liked watching him get his ass kicked.
I missed one. Jeff Jarrett as the NWA World Champion because people hated that.
Now
that is kind of what it gives with Jon Moxley's day, in a way.
I could see that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but and here's the thing. My opinion of this might be biased because I was never a big Jon Moxley guy. I didn't like Dean Ambrose when he was Dean Ambrose.
Well, I liked him as Dean Ambrose, and I liked him at the start of AEW as Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
Once he turned heel, I was no longer feeling it.
I never really cared. When it came to the Shield, I was a fan of Roman Reigns from the beginning. I was one of the only people, and you'll know this, Malik. I was one of the only people who liked Roman Reigns when everybody hated him. I said, what the fuck you hate this guy?
I wasn't crazy about him. I was definitely a Rollins guy from him being Tyler Black on the Indies. And then him coming up, you're like, oh, okay, cool.
I acknowledged Roman Reigns as my tribal chief from day one. I just want everybody to know that right now, okay? So I don't give a shit. But here's the thing. If you had you just threw a whole new level to it because now Jeff Jarrett's involved. I might have to put on Jeff. I couldn't stand TNA when Jeff Jarrett was the champion because he was. Nothing annoys me more, and this might be like because we worked in the indies and shit. Nothing annoys me more when the promoter puts the belt on himself. Nothing annoys me more because it's like, did you make this promotion for you?
Yeah.
Or did you make it to make it? Like, what was it?
Well, it's like the same way as a filmmaker making a movie so they can star in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if no one's going to book me, I'll just book myself and make myself the champion.
Well, no. It's not if no one books me. Oh, wait, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm now, was it true about Jeff Jarrett? I don't know. But WWE didn't want Jeff Jarrett. After WCW closed up, they didn't want his ass, so he had to start his own company and put the NWA title on himself. And it was one of those things where I will never question Jeff Jarrett's ability in the ring. Jeff Jarrett was very good in the ring, very good, very serviceable, great worker. I will always question that he went from wearing the silly fucking outfits to cutting his hair and all of a sudden going, slat nuts, don't piss me off. Like, you ain't a badass. I'm sorry, I can't buy it. That was it with Jeff Jarrett. That was it for it. Otherwise, in the ring, he was great. He cut a good promo. He wasn't bad on the mic, but it was just the way he presented his gimmick. He tried to be a badass in a time where there were too many badasses, and no one was buying Jeff Jarrett as a badass.
$9.99 weekly pay-per-views were the shit.
I remember those. Yeah.
Especially if you had a hot box.
Yeah.
You know?
R-Truth did an amazing job with Cena, with his Cena act. Oscar, please. As Ron
that was definitely fun to watch, to see him come out to Cena's theme and everything, dressed up like Cena, even hitting all of Cena's moves on Cena.
Cena is the GOAT. I just wish they let him beat Jay and be an 18-time champion, get revenge for losing at the Rumble.
I think that would be overkill.
Well, maybe Taylor, I think him trying to put the belt on Logan Paul was his revenge for losing at the Rumble. If you kind of want to put it in perspective. But John Cena is the GOAT. John Cena wins Money in the Bank. That ain't gonna happen. John Cena is gonna be the champion of Money in the Bank. I agree with LA Knight, because LA Knight's on SmackDown. Cena will be on SmackDown. You see him cross paths a little bit. Maybe you see how it feels when they cross paths. He's got the briefcase in his hand. So I don't think Cena will win Money in the Bank. I mean, if they do something like that, that'd be like, at this point, like overkill. So I don't think something like that. These days, WWE events are hardly what they are named to me. Only those matches that match pay-per-view. I don't like when they name a pay-per-view after a match. It annoys me.
Money in the Bank should have just gone right back to WrestleMania.
I agree. 100%.
Since there's no longer the attraction of the Undertaker streak, Money in the Bank should have been like that thing that took the place of it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Money in the Bank doesn't need its own pay-per-view. I think it sweetened the pot at WrestleMania, made people want to watch WrestleMania more when there was a Money in the Bank match attached to it. So I think they should. And I can't stand Hell in the Cell, the pay-per-view. I liked it better when it was Bad Blood.
If you notice, Triple H took away the name Hell in a Cell, so he's doing something right.
That's what I'm saying. You got to put these names. I remiss the old names like No Way Out and Bad Blood and all those, because you didn't need just. I don't know who the fuck the marketing guy was in the room that was like, oh, we should just call it Hell in the Cell. Let's just name it after the matches. Like I don't think they should have done. I think it was dumb from the beginning. Once CM Punk left, in my opinion. Yeah. Are you saying that Punk leaked shit? Is that what I'm assuming? That's what you're
talking about, the good time of
the AEW of All In, when he fought the fucking guy and he punched the guy's light, or he choked the guy out. In the next year or so, The Rock's going to take Triple H's job. There was rumors about that. They're saying that he's trying to cut Triple H's legs out from under him to take his job, but I don't think so. I think The Rock is too busy with Hollywood to be worried about trying to run a wrestling company. Tony mentioned a couple of days ago that he has tightened creative to be more focused. We'll
have to wait and see. That's all I can
say. Only time will tell, and I sure hope, from your lips to God's ears.
Well, also, I have something of what you said before. You said, why would The Rock be busy? He's too busy with Hollywood to run his own wrestling company. But isn't that his own mini Hollywood?
Yes, but he's making movies.
Yeah, but he could basically make his own movie and make him star himself if he ran it.
But it would be obvious, and people would see through that.
The
wrestling
ego like that doesn't matter how obvious.
I know, as you can see, he tried to take Cody's soul. When Cody said "Go fuck yourself," he didn't show up at WrestleMania.
That's like such a butthurt move.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to throw in, and then I'm going to also throw in the little project that I have that I'm doing on my wrestling page.
Okay.
June 7th, Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. June 26th, Night of Champions. July 12th. Saturday's main event. July 13th, Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view. Tony, is it too much? Too soon? These 5 shows.
Fuck yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
Too much.
Yeah. You got to spread these things out. And
the Evolution thing has been spread out 8 years, they said, no?
Yes. No, that was the last one.
Nearly 7-8 years, yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That was its own pay-per-view on Sunday or Saturday by itself.
Put that at a time when there's no other things.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was
if
by
someone
itself.
wanted to watch
There was
it.
nothing else on. There was no
Yeah.
other wrestling shows on.
Have it be a bridge to something later in the year.
Yes, that's
And
the
then
problem.
August 2nd and 3rd, you have SummerSlam weekend, and then August 31st, they're doing what is it? Clash in Paris. It's a lot of shows for WWE.
Dangerous.
AEW nicknames their shows certain things like Beach Break and this and that for shows or whatever, but there's a lot of PLEs that I'm just like, this summer I will enjoy the summer and I will pick and choose when I want to. I will still do this podcast when everybody is available, but I will pick and choose what shows I really want to watch and what matches I really want to watch, because this is overkill now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like people are gonna what do they expect? Aren't people gonna get tired and like have plus with the $40,000 tickets, all these shows to watch? Aren't people gonna be like, I'm good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna like. So they need to chill. And also, what's that phrase where like scarcity? They need to do that.
Too much of something is never good.
Exactly.
So if you have too much of this, eventually it's going to become a problem where
except for edibles. I totally agree.
You can never have enough of those.
No, not at all.
Yeah, never have enough of those. Hey, Bear 11 Charlie's in the house. What's up, bud? I think two-day pay-per-views are stupid. I agree. But if you've been at WrestleMania for 8 hours like I have, it's a lot too. So a fucking 10-hour.
Well, they don't need to put all those things in.
I think what happens is when you have such a big roster, you have to at least try to get as many people onto the show as possible.
But I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it neither. Some people got to know that you have to earn your spot.
Yeah.
Like you don't just get the
spot.
Isn't
that what the whole fighting was? And everyone's like, "Oh, Vegas." Everyone looks up at the thing when they're fighting. That was before that.
They point to the sign. Yeah, you earn your spot. Yeah.
And then as we were watching that, I was like, wow, everyone's going on here. It's not really a big deal anymore when they all look up at the sign.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was way too many people for.
I agree. Now, here's my thing before we close this out.
Wait, I have a few more.
A few more chats?
Yeah.
Okay, bring them up. I'm going to make my point real quick. Already waiting for MJF to turn on the Hurt Syndicate. I assume that's inevitable, right? I mean,
who's to say they don't turn around and do the deed to him first?
That's true too. Get him before it's
he outnumbers them, so why not? And the only thing that would make sense, if in a weird way, is if MJF reformed whatever faction it was that he had with Shawn Spears at the time and FTR. If they get that faction going again, which was like a rumored thing, but I was like, we'll wait to see what happens there. I don't think that needs to happen yet. Perfect
comment right here from Nico Tronas. Oversaturation. There's just too much. Yes, it's oversaturation. They're oversaturating. Remember what today is about. Never forget. Hey, man, happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service, Bear 11. I appreciate you, brother. So happy Memorial Day to all those guys who served. Too many folks are reselling them. The merch drives.
The signed merch.
Okay. The resale.
Hold on.
That's why that's why it's so expensive to sell online, because people resell their bullshit, and that's why they're charging $300. So I get it.
I could not find
crazy if they signed her.
I could not find anything that talked about this. So
right,
I wouldn't know anything about it, but that would be crazy.
Just a shot. She's like #1 in shot put, and they're like, "Oh, she's strong, and she's the daughter of Lesnar." But I didn't see anything that.
If this was to happen,
what if?
Yeah, if this was to happen, this wouldn't happen anytime.
She also seems really young. I didn't see what age she was, but she looked like a kid to me.
Well, she's in college, I think, and Brock is probably going to want her to finish that before she goes anywhere. Basic community college creative writing students could come up with better stories than what AEW is doing.
So, Tony, my project on the before we get to that comment on the AEW, the AEW, my God, because we talked so much about AEW today, it's now stuck in my brain. I am looking, and I'm going to make a compilation of all the WCW World Title changes that took place in the year 2000.
Well, you'll be there all fucking year, won't you?
There was at least 20 to 20. It's anywhere from 20 to 25 title changes.
Yeah. Fucking Christ, dude. That's sick. That's sick.
Yeah.
I watched a video on Instagram, and it showed from 2000, 2001, all the botches from WCW. Did you see that video?
No.
Buddy, it is ugly. I didn't realize how many fucking botches there were. It was fucking crazy how bad it was in that last year of WCW. It's like they show AJ Styles botch. So it was crazy. how many botches there were. Jey Uso's Yeet is trash to me, but WWE fans love it because it caters to kids. That's the thing. Eddie, you answered your own question, buddy. You answered your own thing. WWE has always been family friendly. It's been family friendly entertainment for quite some time now. It's no longer about the 18 to 34 male demographic no more. It's about everybody across the board. They got to appeal to everyone. And that simply, like I just said, I'm already sick of it. And I'm only sick of it because he comes to the ring every promo and then does it again and does it again and does it again. Eventually, it's going to be like, all right, come on. Now,
it's going to be so sick for Tony that I will appear on this show next week wearing a shirt and glasses to yeet the entire episode.
I'm okay with it right now. I'm not sick of it just yet. I get that it's working. But, like, see, to me, like, the organic shit of yes, like, the Daniel Bryan didn't come out and go, yes, 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 then go, hold on a second, then go back up to the ring and then go, yes, yes, yes again. He just let them yes. Just let them yes. Austin, same
I don't
thing.
feel like he starts it on his own. Like, they started when he
Yeah,
goes back.
Fans ask for an encore, basically.
Yeah.
But again, eventually, I'm telling you now,
they're going to not ask for it.
It's just going to get old. Yeah, it just happened. I mean, the yeet will always be here forever. It'll always be here.
I don't think it get old. I think it'll just get shorter.
Just like the what, just like yes. It'll always be here. It'll always be a part of the thing, but it'll eventually just kind of wear thin with people, where people will be like, all right, we're done with this. Like, it'll be like.
The problem is when he's trying to be serious, the fans won't stop. So it's just like, you brought this on yourself, brother.
Exactly. You set yourself up for a dead end here. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to be careful. But
that would be cool if he had.
He hired Gail Kim to run his women's division and Scott D'Amore to run ROH. Now, that is a great comment, Eddie. That's not a bad idea. Not
Scott
a bad
D'Amore
idea.
taking the lead as a talent, creative talent would be great.
Yeah,
because he did pretty well with TNA until they canned him. So
100%. Yeah, she's young still. WWE tends to wait until they're old enough to rent a car. 25. Yeah, well, this is the thing too. Like I said, Brock is probably going to be like, you're not going anywhere until you're done with college. Then you can maybe try to go over there. So I just think that, while it could be a true rumor, Nico, I just think it's not going to happen anytime soon.
And if she comes in, would she be the new big thing with Brock's theme music? Like it would be like how Charlotte has the remix of Ric Flair's theme. She would get the same thing probably.
Oh, 100%.
I was gonna just say close it with this.
Oh, thank you, baby. Yeah, so we're gonna close it out with Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Listen, my father was a Vietnam veteran. I'm sure we all know somebody who has served. We know plenty of pro wrestlers who have served. I know plenty.
Served.
Yeah, so just like thank you guys for your service. We appreciate you. Like I said, never forget that there are people over there fighting for our freedoms, fighting for us to sit here and talk about pro wrestling in this kind of way. So thank you guys for real, man. It's we can't, like I said, I see my father every day and I see what it did to him with post-traumatic stress and all that other shit.
And health, physical health.
And his physical health, yeah, because he's a part of that whole Camp Lejeune thing. So thank you guys. So listen, it's been a great show, Malik. Fantastic show.
Off the fly, just doing that. We didn't have. I didn't have any notes.
No notes.
Tony didn't watch many shows.
I didn't watch anything. Yeah, I didn't watch anything this week.
There's always something to talk about.
The only thing I watched was Raw. And like I said, the main part of Raw where Zoe Stark got hurt, she watched and I didn't because I was over here fucking around.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but as a fun rib, I think Dominique should be in the intro. That's just me. I'm ribbing somebody right now. I hope you're watching.
I'll say this: she's here more than Greco. She's here more than.
See,
Greco.
I wasn't gonna say all that. I wasn't gonna say all that. I was just saying. So I see the intro.
I think the consensus is we need a new intro regardless.
Yeah, I love that song.
So we'll put you in the intro is what you're saying, right? Okay, gotcha. You were saying, Tony, sorry to cut you off.
So if anybody's wondering why I haven't been watching wrestling, it's because of this steering wheel that's right in front of me. Malik,
make yourself bigger or no?
Malik, I've been playing the shit out of American Truck Simulator, and yeah, dude, I want to get my CDL license now. That's all. That's awesome.
Never mind. Listen, do your thing. I know somebody who just got there, so
yeah,
more power to you.
Yeah.
I will say that my father told me this, and a friend told me this, that if you get your CDL license, you are never unemployed because they are always looking for truck drivers.
True.
So as long as you have that.
My pops, who has it, literally, he just moved to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. As soon as he got in Atlanta, he already had a job like that.
It's it. It's so.
I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, maybe I'm going about this driving thing all wrong.
dude, if you ever considered it, you would immediately get employment. My father said it's like a golden ticket. Like everybody always needs a truck driver. So
legit.
Yeah. So I got it just in the. I don't know what it was. I had for some reason had this hard on about getting a steering wheel. Like I wanted this thing. I wanted to play some racing games or whatever the fuck was. And then I saw American Truck Simulator, and I was like, "What the fuck is this thing?" And it's exactly what I just told you. You're just driving a semi truck, picking up trailers and taking it to said destination. That's all it is. And like I said, I was sitting here like this, and she's like, "Somebody got hurt," and I went, "Huh?" Like that was kind of like that kind of shit. Like so. I am going to put the steering wheel down this week and watch wrestling again. I will say that we're going to watch Raw tonight.
He says that now.
We're going to watch Raw tonight. We're going to watch SmackDown on Friday. And hell, we might even give AEW another chance since Eddie came in here and made such a hard pitch for it.
Point for it,
yeah. So maybe we'll give AEW another shot.
Eddie, just so you know, we're not knocking you. I fully support all your comments you made here today. I support everybody who's left comments here today. Everybody's opinion matters.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys for coming in here and dropping.
I usually put the banner that says if you have an opinion.
Yeah, so I appreciate all you guys for stopping in and coming in. We'll be back at it next Monday, 10:30 a.m. Right here at False Finish Productions. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. We greatly appreciate it.
If you want to be made into a virtual wrestling promotion.
Okay. Look at you putting shit over. If you're interested,
this is why she's here.
Producer.
Okay.
Anybody who's in the chat, some guys are already a part of it, like Nico Tronis, Rough Shot, Virgo Cool. They're part of the LSWA. Malik is a part of the LSWA. My wife is a part of the LSWA. Yeah. I have a wrestling promotion, a virtual wrestling promotion on WWE 2K25 called the Legend Series Wrestling Alliance. You have to go to my other channel, which is Legend Series, and you have to join my membership, and then I will put you on the roster. We will create you and put you on the roster, and you will join. Every Saturday or Sunday, I do live streams where everybody fights each other. And then if you're a member, you get storyline-based content where I do Monday Night Raw and WCW Monday Nitro, and I put you on respective brands.
Nico has his wife, Recur.
Exactly. Nico Tronis came in. Now he is your reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion. Beat Kurt Angle. Yeah, beat Kurt Angle to become the champion. And then had a special request to bring in his girlfriend, Stephanie Vicker, which I did. And now she, manages him, walks him down to the ring. So, and he started a chain reaction, by the way, because now everybody's messaging me and going, "Hey man,
they want their own manager.
Can you put me with Liv Morgan?
Oh my God.
Can you put me with Julia? Can you put me with this one?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys. I was like, we're not going to start this.
You know what would have been great is if, like, all right, the person that they're requesting, say two people request the same person.
Oh, that happened.
Right? You put them one-on-one, and that person that they're requesting is the referee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that'd be pretty sick.
That's good.
And then you just see them turn on one of them, and boom. Once you told out the idea, I was just like,
Yeah. Nico, you are the trendsetter, brother.
Wait, do you remember?
Do you remember BJ and the Bear TV show? I think so. Yeah, it's old, right? I mean,
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I remember. I think I vaguely remember it.
I know lots of things for BJ, but not
Babe.
Sorry.
Jesus, she's a dirty girl.
You know what? I don't think that's that kind of show. But
I don't think so. Well, the BJ and the Bear, both bears. Also,
oh, see, I don't even know where this is going now.
Hey, where are you taking this program, ladies?
No, bears mean.
Malik doesn't do the interspecies erotica.
I'm just saying. Oh, it's a trucking TV show.
Yeah, trucking TV show.
That's not at all what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think my father watched it. My father watches a show called Highway Through Hell.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is basically like a when the trucks crash in Alaska. So when you're watching Ice Road Truckers, they don't show the part where they fucking flip the trailer. This TV show does. And it's about the pickup, the tow trucks that go and pull the trucks out of the shit when they crash and stuff like that. He fucking loves that show. He has it on TV all the fucking time. But that being said, we'll be back. Like I said, we'll be back at it next Monday, 10:30 a.m. on your radio dial or your YouTube dial. I'm gonna be breaking down wrestling as always. Like I said, I'm gonna watch this week. Last week was, like I said, I got sidetracked with truck drivers.
Don't worry, I will be testing them in our private group message.
Yeah, please. Like I said, I'm gonna actually sit and watch AEW. We have to do another watch along at some point. So we have to figure out
of AEW.
No. Just we'll just pick a show.
Okay.
And watch it.
I think maybe we should do a watch along of a throwback show that we all can agree that we liked, and then just go from there.
I agree with that. We could do that too. All right, we'll go with that. So we got to plan that out.
What about the good old days where there's no girls? What was that?
Damn, you just.
Oh, Jesus.
No, what were you talking about before? When someone was complaining about?
You know,
Oh, I was
what
saying the original Saturday Night's main events where there were no women's matches at all. So that was like the late 80s.
You know what we'll
Yeah.
do? You know what we'll do?
We'll watch one of those.
We'll put on an old school one so you can watch Randy Savage in all his glory.
Oh yeah,
Right?
there we go.
We'll put on one of those. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We will, like I said, we'll be back next Monday. If you like, please, and haven't, please like and subscribe because I'm trying to grow this channel still as always. Thank you guys. Let me turn on some music here.
Yeah.
And until next Monday, that is. I don't know if we'll be back with Greco. Greco just didn't even answer.
Really? Didn't even say he was not coming.
I just assume his pregnant wife needed him.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Until then, keep some kayfabe, folks. Deuces.